Welcome back to Morning at NTV. You are right on time for our Kickstarter conversation. Now, yesterday we did see, the second phase of the LDU recruitment begin. And so the Uganda People's Defense Forces fresh recruitment exercise of 1,300 local defense unit personnel from central, eastern, northern and mid-western Uganda started yesterday across the country. Like I mentioned, the 17-day recruitment exercise, which started yesterday, aims at enhancing security in the country. As of yesterday, the UPDF had a hard time containing the huge number of people who turned for the local defense unit recruitment exercise within the country.
Now, the army, which had a target of recruiting only 156 people, was overwhelmed when the number of potential recruits who turned up in thousands. Let's take a look at this story that was done yesterday by Joyce Nakato, and then we'll get back into this discussion.
By 9 a.m., Wankulukuku Stadium in Lubaga Division was packed with people aspiring to join the local defense unit under the UPDF. UPDF 1st Division spokesperson, Maj Bilal Katamba, listed the essentials.
That means you must possess the national ID. We're looking at people, the youth, between the age group of 18 and 35. We are looking at people with recommendations from LC1.
Because of the large numbers, the UPDF has partnered with local leaders within the division to verify whether the recruits satisfy these requirements. Some, unfortunately, parted with money paid to unscrupulous individuals in exchange for documents that prove their residence in Lubaga Division.
We think it would be a big racket, and we shall take him to the courts of law.
Only a few out of the thousands who turned up for this exercise could make it, because majority failed to meet the number one requirement, which was being a resident of this division.
People are coming from Entebbe, people are coming from Kumi, people are coming from Soroti. So for them, some of them, they are not informed that the first priority goes to the people who are within the division.
In other instances, some of them who failed to make the cut attempted to join the queues of the lucky few who had been selected. Major Katamba said the successful recruits will be trained for 6 months before they are deployed to start duty.
Immediately after the screening, those who are going to go through our screening will immediately jump on our vehicle, taken to training school.
The recruitment process for Kampala Central Division continues tomorrow, Tuesday, at Old Kampala Sports Grounds. Joyce Nakato, NTV Tonight.
Very much, Joyce Nakato. Now, the UPDF, the army, is hoping to recruit 13,000 LDU personnel to add to the 6,000 that were passed out earlier this year. The army is expected to continue with the recruitment processes today at Old Kampala Sports Grounds for the division of Kampala Central. And joining us this morning is Maj Bilal Katamba, who is the UPDF 1st Division spokesperson. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Good morning. Yes, you have been doing a great job recruiting. The first phase, how did that go?
The first phase went very well. The one of yesterday and the one before went very well. We recruited 6,400. We trained them for a period of five months. His Excellency the President came, passed them out at Oliver Tambo Training School in Kawawecha on the 15th of March last year, and we deployed them in the following month, and they're doing very well. Okay. They're doing very well. We are very happy with the work so far being done.
What's the eventual target? Because you had 6,000 before.
Yes.
And in that story, we learned that you were only looking for 156 people.
Yes.
And it turns out that you're getting
for Ruvaga Division.
You're getting a big number.
Yes.
The second phase, you're looking to recruit 13,000.
Exactly.
So what is the eventual number that you're looking for at the end of the whole recruitment process?
Yeah. If you may remember, when His Excellency the President was addressing the nation last year, the 20th of June, he talked about 24,000 local defense personnel.
Okay.
Now we thought we'd have them in the first season, in the first recruitment, but we couldn't. The number was big, so the strategic leadership decided that we handle them in phases. So the first phase we recruited 6,400, which we passed out. We got them deployed. Now we are looking, but there's still a gap. So we are having 13,000 this time. But this time is going beyond even the Kampala Metropolitan Policing Area. Previously we recruited from Wakiso, Mukono, and Kampala. But now it's going even beyond. We are recruiting from the 3rd Division, that's the Eastern, and the Northern region. However, still Kampala Metropolitan Area has the biggest share because we are targeting 3,500 for Kampala Metropolitan Area alone. And we've given it a different team, an independent team to recruit in this area. That's the team that went at Wankuru.
What's so special about the metropolitan area?
Well, first of all, the metropolitan area, I've put it, is highly populated. Crime is higher.
Oh, that's the reason. All right.
Than in other rural areas, so we're giving it priority.
Do you think that the LDUs will sort out the issue of insecurity within the Kampala metropolitan, especially within this phase, that this have been issues, making headlines, and people are actually worried? You can imagine people who just wake up in the morning, go rightfully to their places of, fending for themselves and their families. I'm talking about mobile money agents, and unfortunately, someone is shot dead. So do you think this will ultimately be the solution for insecurity within the Kampala metropolitan area?
Given what they have done previously since we deployed them, I think they have got a very big role to play in combating crime in this area, in Kampala metropolitan area. But we should not look at LDUs alone. When the president was talking about fighting crime in urban areas, he put across 10 measures. I don't know whether you remember this.
Yes.
He talked about the CCTV cameras. He talked about banning the hooded border riders. You remember what happened in Nansana? The guys who committed that crime came hooded, and you ask why nobody was. Nobody paid attention, and yet the president talked about it previously. Hooded borders. He talked about the CCTV cameras. They are commissioned. They are being utilized, but not effectively right now, because people are not reporting some of this crime, and they're not there for only reviewing what happened, but supposed to preempt crime. There's supposed to be communication between the people in the camera rooms and maybe the patrols, so that when they see anything suspicious, they're able to report. So we have not fully utilized them. There's still a gap. Then he talked about quick response of security personnel. That there should be quick response. He gave an example of the incident where Chirumira was killed. The incident was took about 5 to 10 minutes, and there was no response. It took him, His Excellency, he went to the nearest police station to ask what happened. There was this crime, there was shooting, and he did not respond. The police officer, the lady, had an excuse, which the president bought, that there was a church, people were praying, and
the noise distracted her. She could not hear it.
She couldn't hear. Maybe that saved her.
Right.
But he also talked about vigilance. So on that, he directed that we revive the 99. Police revived the 99.
Is it working? Is it working though?
They are there, yes. They are there.
All right. Someone would ask and argue that out of all the measures that the president pretty much put in place to curb or fight insecurity within the city, seemingly it seems like it's only the LDU proposal that is taking course. Why would you say that's the case? Is it that this political will, government has moved even financially to support this particular cause? Why is it that this is the only thing that we are tangibly seeing take course?
Because they're visible. That's why you think they're the only one that are on ground.
Which other one has taken course?
The CCTV cameras are there.
Like you said, not fully.
Yes, the 99s have been revived. We're talking about giving URA, for example, powerful scanners, so that we are able to see whatever is coming in the country, because we are talking about arms. These are the criminal gangs that are using arms.
Right.
Where do gangs come from? We need to see when they are coming, when they are going out. All those are supposed to be implemented, but possibly he talked about giving police a good modern forensic laboratory to help in investigations. So all those are being implemented, but only that the ones that are visible, tangible, like the CCTV cameras, they're there for everybody, they're mounted already, the LDUs are visible while they're patrolling. Maybe that's why you think the rest are not being implemented, but I'm sure they're being implemented.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
Let's go back to the recruitment process. And we, as a country, have had a big number of Ugandans being taken for security jobs in Abu Dhabi, in Iraq, in all those places.
Yes.
And we have many of them who are coming back.
Yes.
Why aren't we prioritizing those people? Because these are people who have already experience in handling firearms. They have had some training. Why are we carrying on the locals that now there's even more task for you to make sure that you train them to the standards? One. But then there's the case of training as well.
Yes.
Are you training these LDUs enough? Because we already have challenges in this country where we have officers that clearly haven't been trained enough on how to handle guns, one, and then how to deal with us, the nationals, in case there's a problem or two. Are you giving them enough training? I'm sorry, I'm bumping you with two questions, but you can take them.
I'm here to answer them.
Okay.
Now, with the people who have been trained, who have worked abroad in Iraq, Somalia, Afghanistan. Now, by law, if you get any military training, by law, when you're out, you automatically become part of the reserve. They're part of the reserve. The other time, 2 or 3 weeks back, we called the reserve. I don't know whether you captured that, for training to be deployed in Somalia. We don't discriminate. All the reservists we are given opportunity, and we are taking 1,500. We sort them out, we screen them. Those who are medically and physically fit, they're already in PSO for training in single. So we don't neglect them because they are part of the reserve. The fact that they received the military training. Now, coming to the LDUs, I don't know why you think they're not qualified enough to handle guns. When we train, we give you specialized training depending on the task ahead of you. For example, we don't have to take the LDUs through the training of digging trenches because we're not preparing them for conventional warfare. We are preparing them to fight urban crime that anybody can fight.
Right.
Yes, because sometimes you've had ordinary people, maybe seeing a robbery taking place and they cordon off the area and they're able to arrest these people. Though that's risky, but you see they're doing it because that's foundation security. We are ordinary people involved in combating crime. So these LDUs are also given specialized training that will enable them fight the crime within the locality there.
All right. So what you're saying is that within the 6 months, they get thorough training,
enable them
to equip them. Okay.
To equip them with enough training to skills to fight urban crime. And remember, we don't deploy them alone. We've given them UPDF commanders to help them, guide them.
Okay.
They're not in this theater before, to guide them, direct them, instill in them the ideology of the pro-people ideology of the UPDF, so that they are serving the interests of the wananchi.
What's the management and monitoring structure like for the UPDF, pretty much personnel? We were having a conversation with regards to private security organizations, and we are now waking up to the news that 40 of these companies have had their licenses revoked. A directive that has been moved by the IGP of police. Now, question would be, how is the monitoring structure like? Fine, you've recruited them, you've trained them rigorously for 6 months, you've deployed them, but who is monitoring them to ensure that they abide by the law?
For now, they are deployed under Kampala metropolitan area. Kampala metropolitan area is Wakiso, Mukono, and Kampala, and that's an area under 1st Division under the command of General Samuel Kawaga, the 1st Division commander. Now is the overseer of this operation, but there's overall operation commander Colonel Silverde. The quarters are here in Kawempe, and we have 9 battalions with structured in their army formations. We have 9 battalions, each Kampala division has a battalion and named after the division: Rubaga division, Machidi division, Kampala Central Battalion, Kawempe, Chira. The other battalions, and then we segment them into companies where we put them in local areas where we the area identified as prone to crime. We put company there. Then we distribute them further into platoons up to, we would want to deploy up to parish level. But then it's not possible. The numbers are not enough. I hope with this recruitment, shall have enough numbers to deploy in each and every area of Kampala Metropolitan. Just imagine a district like Wakiso. It has 146 parishes. And now with one battalion, you cannot deploy you cannot have those platoons.
Right.
Then 800 villages. You cannot deploy in each and every village. So we have them segmented, but we don't have enough numbers yet.
Okay.
I think the number, the 24,000 is an ideal number for Kampala Metropolitan area.
Okay.
Alone.
Let's talk about the patrolling skills.
Yes.
Recently we had a local leader who was around, and he shared his concerns. First, he gave us a feel that you are not in touch with the local leaders as much as they would wish you to be.
Yes.
And then he talked about the patrolling skills or criteria that they are using, which is you called that something before. They're in a straight line, the linear patrolling, where they're in a straight line, they go past criminals who are clearly seeing them, and then after they go past them, they can go ahead with their crime.
Yes. Now, what we are doing first with the local leaders, the concept of these operations that LDUs are supposed to work with local leaders. That's why we involved even the local leaders in the recruitment. We ask for the best boys from their communities, because they are going to go back and provide security in those areas. So they get involved because of that. Two, because we want each community, we must appreciate that each community has its own peculiar security challenges. So we encourage our commanders to go and sit with the local leaders to discuss on the security challenges of that particular community. So because of those particular challenges, it means we must work out particular solutions. You cannot have general solutions. Customized. Very good. Customized. So we encourage our commanders to be close to the local leaders so that they are able to discuss the security challenges and find solutions. Sometimes you find even the local leaders have solutions to these challenges. They only need support. But you cannot know that until you engage them.
Indeed.
They even know the criminals, because the criminals stay with us in the communities where we stay.
You know, you've pointed out to that issue of criminals, and I think this will be our last question as we wrap this up, and unfortunately we're not having enough time. But there's been talk that the people who fuel crime within the city and across the country are people who are in the security, pretty much operations. They are either in police or in any cadre of the security, kind of tree. So with the LDU, so to speak, and we all know this, even the president said that, the security forces have been infiltrated by Kawukumi. So what are we doing to ensure that these LDUs are remunerated well enough such that crime is no longer enticing to them, and that they stand by the vow of truth and fighting crime?
I don't believe that, first of all, I don't believe that all the crimes that are being committed the security agencies have a role to play. You find errant officers here and there who are bad element within the security, but we cannot generalize that the security agencies. It's that individual who must be held accountable for their action. You had a case in the Southern Bypass where a senior police officer was caught here. But that was that. You cannot generalize that and say police is all the police like this. Now with the remuneration, I don't think it has a lot to do with remuneration. You just find somebody who was maybe is a criminal. Simply that. I don't know. It doesn't. When you are serving, especially in security agencies, it's a service.
So you're saying it's more of the moral fabric.
Exactly.
How much are they being paid per month?
200,000.
Okay.
But there's some welfare is not determined only by how much you take home. I mean, we feed them, we give them clothing, we give them everything, the medical care. It's a lot that we give them, other than the monthly pay that we give them. And how much is enough that you can give somebody and say you won't commit a crime?
Okay.
We've had people are highly paid and they're still. Okay. So.
All right.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Major Bilal Katamba, UPDF First Division spokesperson, joining us this morning to give us more light on the recruitment of LDUs. Now, for all those that are out there that have been worried, I hope that Major here gave you enough not to worry you. And if you have any concerns, like he says, local leaders, you have have solutions you should share.
The local leaders shouldn't wait for the LDU commanders to go to them. They can also go to them. They are there to serve you, please. Local leaders approach these people. Even the commanders, it's supposed not to be a linear communication. So it's supposed to be two-way. Let the local leaders go to the commander. Let the commanders go to the local leaders so that they work together. We can fight crime together.
All right.
I believe.
That's good. It's good to hear that we can fight it together. Thank you very much, Major Bilal, for joining us this morning, saving some time to be with us here to discuss recruitment of LDUs, their training, and all the worries that we have had of LDUs. And where are you going next for
today?
Today you are in
Central. Old Kampala.
Old Kampala.
Secondary school. I'm sure the boys have already assembled.
Yes.
We are also going to Chotera and Rakai at Chotera district quarters.
Okay.
We are also in Kotido. And Beam, I think. Beam, yes.
Okay, just before we let you go, for those who want to come for the recruitment, some of the things that they need to come with so that they don't make that trip back.
You must have a national ID.
Okay.
We want Ugandans. You must be between 18 and 35. That means we want the youth. You must be physically and medically fit. You must have recommendation from LSU1 signed by the PISO and the GISO, basically, and well disciplined. And disciplined. Yes.
We're going
to have had cases where LC local leaders are recommending the people that are not from their area. That's very bad.
Right.
Just imagine if somebody runs away from his village and goes to another village. That means there are questions about him. Otherwise, why wouldn't you want his LOC1 LOC1 person to recommend him?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
So there's an issue there that we must look at.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's it for our Kickstarter conversation. In a few minutes, I'm going to make sure that before Major Bilal leaves here, I am tested to see if I am physically fit to join the LDs. And you never know. Maybe I could join and earn some of that 200,000. I need it. Anyway,
that's only for the start.
That's only for okay. Yeah. Thank you. That's it for our Kickstarter conversation. We'll be back with our Tech Note conversation. If you want to join in on the conversation, the hashtag is morning@NTV across all social media platforms.
Unleashed betrayal, pain, ambition, but most of all, it brought a wonderful love.
Yes, I wanted to tell you that my feelings haven't changed at all, but I was afraid of your reaction.
Bitter abandon brought about a sweet encounter.
Please, don't cry. Nothing lasts